In this tutorial for Team Yankee, I'm going to explain what happens if they are carrying troops or infantry teams in them. What happens if they're destroyed? So let me clear these out and I'll take one at a time. So I'm going to explain transports and the aircraft, and then I'll explain about those that are riding on tanks, because they all have kind of different rules. So let's start with this BMP transport, and it has these two teams in it. So they're moving along, trying to get to their objective, whatever they're trying to do. And these Pershings are going to be my Abrams. And they come out and they're going to shoot the BMP. Well, they're going to get 6 shots, needing 3s to hit. And they missed those 2. So they hit 4 times. It's going to get no save. And they made it 4. Wow, they really did really good. All right, so this is destroyed. So let me put my little destroyed marker on there. Now, what happens to the men that are in that? Basically, each of these men only need to make 1 save. Whether it's hit 4, 5, a million times, they only have to make 1 save. 3+, so let's see. That one died, and that one lived. So this one's dead. They failed their save. This one's alive. And what you do is, whoever shot at them, you have to put these guys on the opposite side of the destroyed vehicle from them next to it. And then they are pinned down. And that's pretty much what you do. So if they fail, they're dead. If they survive, they're on the opposite side of the vehicle from who shot them, best you can. I mean, if they're surrounding them, do the best you can. And they become pinned down. I will also let you know that some guns have brutal on it, like the T-72. That means these guys would have, if they make their save, like this one, they'd have to re-roll it, and they made it. If they fail the second roll, they're taken out. So just like the brutal weapons do on infantry normally, if a brutal weapon destroys their transport, they have to re-roll those successful saves. All right, so now let's look at what happens with the helicopter. Okay, so this aircraft landed on that on the Soviets player's turn, and there are these 2 men in there, and they failed their blitz move or whatever, decided not to do it. They're there, they're in their transport, and again, we're going to use the Pershings here as the Abrams, and they're going to get 6 shots on this, needing 3s. And this gets its 4+ save, failed 2, and we're going to say it did its firepower. Now, it's destroyed. Oops, it won't stay. It's destroyed. The men in it, just like the BMP. Doesn't matter how many times they get hit, 1 save. Okay? Oop, failed. But you know what? This is a brutal weapon. Remember about that brutal rule. This is a brutal weapon. Oh, still survived. They're going to be on the opposite side and pinned. So it's the same as any other transport when it's on the ground. But what about if it's flying? It's still up in the air. I am having the hardest time getting these. There we go. So it's up in the air, and again, these 2 teams are in that helicopter. It gets shot by, let's say, some anti-aircraft, and here we go. And it's not going to redo that. Okay, here we go. So it got hit. It's going to do its 4+ save. And that, and I'm hoping, no, but we'll pretend like it got shot down. Pew! What happens to the men? Well, they do not get the 3+ save. They're destroyed. If this is still in the air and it gets destroyed and they're in there, they're also destroyed. They're out of the game because this is in the air. So The only way you can save your men in a helicopter if it gets destroyed is if it's landed. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about is, what about those riding a tank? All right, we got our T-72, and on that T-72, not inside, but riding on top of the T-72 are these two teams. And the Abrams roll up, and they're going to take their shots at this one. So we are needing 3s to hit, and looks like 4 hits. So I'll take those 2 off. And it failed 2, so it did hit twice. It failed 2, and it's blown up and bailed out, but it's blown up. So what happens to the men? Well, whether or not this got destroyed, they're going to have to make saves. So like this one and the helicopter, no matter how many times this got destroyed or whatever, they only had to do 1 save. Not in this case. Every time this is hit, they have to make a save. So they each have to make 4 saves. And if these are brutal weapons, you're re-rolling that. So let's see how they do. Oh, he's dead. And this one, dead. So they're both dead. Now, just think about this. And this is why it's dangerous to put them on tanks, but you can, is think about the tank like one of these was shooting at it. And let's see if I can actually, okay, they missed once. He's going to try to save. Let's say he saved, nothing happened. They still got hit once. They're still going to have to do their save. Failed and survived. So these teams are still on there, or that team, this team is gone. So if you're riding on a tank, if it gets hit, a save for every time that tank gets hit. Now, if it is destroyed, back there, pin down the usual. Now, it could also not only be hit by these guys, it could be artillery bombardment coming in, and also if the tank is assaulted. So if the tank's hitting the assault, they've got to make their save. So, well, that's all I got for this video. If you like this one or any of the others I've done, go ahead and subscribe and share with other people. And as always, have a good game.